All right, four-star diamonds. So great seeing your beautiful faces as always today. Super excited for this call because obviously we have an amazing topic by Shannon. She shows how to help your leaders or your coaches become leaders, which is definitely sometimes a hard opportunity to get them to see that bigger picture and really step up and be a leader within their team and leader within their business. So super, super exciting. Just to give you a little background though on Shannon. Shannon's actually from Orem, Utah, which is literally the city right next to where we're at. So, but she doesn't live there. She lives in California. She is married, obviously, and lives in California. They have 3 adorable girls. Baby Charlotte is now, she just told me, 5 weeks old today. So she's a newborn, yes. Absolutely gorgeous girls. Along with that, she is ranked number 537 in the network, 380,000 coaches. So great job. Her points as far as elite goes, she's over where she should be for the year. So she just has a couple things that she needs to kind of sew up, and she'll be a 5-star diamond elite coach, which is amazing. So along with that, yeah, I'm excited to kind of hear a little bit more about you, Shannon. If you don't mind, tell us a little more about your story, and then go right into your topic.
Sure. Awesome. Thanks, Brittany. I'm excited to be here and to see all of you guys have been kind of easing my way into this group since I just had a baby and going through pregnancy and everything. But it's awesome to be here with all of you guys. So this is a topic that I really struggled with and I've really had to work a lot with. So I wanted to share it with you guys. So just a little bit of background about me. So I struggled with my weight gain during my pregnancies. I'm 5'4" and former competitive gymnast, dancer, runner, cheerleader, ran a marathon, several half marathons, just loved exercise and was always really in shape. And then I got married and had my first baby when I was 29 and went from 130 range weight to 199 pounds the day our first daughter was born. And that was just like, whoa, what is going on? Never had to lose weight in my life. And so I came home from the hospital, weighed 188 pounds, and just kind of went through some postpartum depression and background is in public relations and marketing. I have a bachelor's in public relations and I worked for 8 years in the corporate public relations director world. And I loved it, but it was hard to leave my kids when I had a baby. And so I went back to work 2 weeks after our first baby was born. And just remember staring at the computer crying because I wanted to be home with my baby and hated being away from home. And so anyway, so I kind of had both of these things going on. I struggled with my weight gain, and then I really wanted to find something I could do at home. So my cousin's wife used P90X and lost 80 pounds, and so I just went to beachbody.com and ordered it in 2009, a long time ago, and I used it. And I lost the weight plus more, was able to run a half marathon 11 months after our first baby was born. It was a huge victory for me and just was a huge fan. I used P90X Insanity, loved the workouts, didn't know about Shakeology, didn't know about coaching. And so then 2 years flash forward, I had another baby, got up to 196 pounds. And I just really struggled with my weight gain. And it was hard because I was also working during my pregnancies, got really bad headaches, and anyway, so this time I just jumped right into the workouts and I lost 25 pounds using Insanity, and I started blogging about my journey on Team Beachbody's website. I didn't ever use social media. I was really scared about posting. I might check in once a month and see what people are doing, but I didn't know about social media. So I posted about my journey on Team Beachbody, and that's when I met my coach who's in Chicago. And so we connected because he's a personal trainer, and I really just wanted a personal trainer. But I never like, joined a challenge group. I never met anyone that was a coach before I became a coach. I talked to my coach for about 10 minutes and joined and jumped all in. So December 2011, I became a coach. And I, hit Success Club my first 4 months as a coach, got to Diamond pretty quick in my first 3.5, 4 months as a coach. And then I kept diamond until I think it was October 2013. I got to 1-star, and then I lost it. So January 2014, started the year as a diamond. I was like in and out of diamond, 1-star. So it was a long time before I hit star diamond level. And I at the beginning, I had a goal to make $1,000 a month. That was my goal. Like if I made $1,000 a month, $1,200 a month, then that was good. And so I did that. And then I didn't really set my goals higher. So I have 10 points that I wanted to go into, like that have helped me to become a leader, because in 2014, that was one of my best years. So I became a 4-star in my first business. I got my husband's business to 2-star, and then I got my second business center to diamond and then to 1-star in 1 year. And so and then in my first business, I have 6 lifetime diamonds. So I have a total of 9 personally sponsored diamonds between 3 businesses. They're just not all in one spot. So that's my problem. But it's been an amazing journey to watch these leaders. And then some of my diamonds that became diamond last year become 1-star and are working on 2-star now. And so there's definitely been a shift in helping develop leaders, and it's because of a lot of these things that I'm going to talk about. So, and like I mentioned at the beginning, a lot of these things were from Missy Rever. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right, but she did a call, and I'll share it with you guys. But she is an amazing person that just came out of nowhere, and we watched her just boom into this amazing star diamond leader. So I learned a lot from her that I wanted to share. So step number 1 is raise your lid on success. So if you want to develop other leaders, you got to raise your lid of success higher. And I went to Summit and in Vegas and heard John C. Maxwell talk about this, and this really made an impact on me, because he talked about however high your lid is, you're going to reach that lid and you're not going to go higher. And so for me, I hit my lid. And I wanted to get to diamond. I wanted to make $1,000, $1,200 a month, and that was my goal. And I wasn't really connected with an upline group, and I was the top of our group, and so I didn't know any other leaders, and I just thought, okay, this is as good as it's going to be, and this is great, and that's awesome. I can quit some of my side jobs that I was doing, and so anyway, but you have to raise your lid on success, because however high your lid is going to be, that's how high your team is going to be. So I was at diamond for a long time, and so getting other people to diamond was really hard, because no one saw me going higher than that. And so we didn't really have a success club culture on our team, and so I was hitting success club kind of on and off, and so, but basically, however high your lid is, it's going to be for everyone else. And so I started diving into leadership, personal development, and learning how to lead. So another problem that I had as a leader was, like I say, my background's in public relations and marketing. And so I love doing logos and the visual and making, the presentation and all of that. And so, but I realized that, that's great, but that doesn't really grow your business, and it doesn't really grow your leaders. And so I needed to learn how to help other people do what I was doing as far as hitting certain goals. And so another thing that as a leader I struggled with was, I'm okay, I'll run the challenge group, I'll run the team group, I'll run the team call, I'll do the webinar, I'll just bring your people, and I'll do. So I wasn't allowing anyone else to lead. And something I learned from Shannon was, she's like, how did you get to where you're at? Were there people on your team call at first? I'm like, no one was on my team call. She's like, you're not letting your leaders struggle if you're doing everything for them. And that was a huge eye-opener for me, because I was just trying to make it easier for my leaders, but in reality I wasn't, because I was doing it for them. They weren't going through the struggle of becoming a leader. So anyway, so that's step number 1, is raise your lid on success, and that was a huge thing for me. Step number 2 is recruit more coaches yourself. So at the end of the year, last year was kind of crazy. I made Premier, but I hit 4-star in my first business center and 1-star in my second business center on the same day, like at the very end of the year. So I was like, oh man, like I am right there, but it just didn't quite happen for 5-star. I talked to Brigida Linford because I actually kind of had a kind of a sad experience with one of my coaches going for diamond, and I won't go into that. But I was talking to her because my coach reached out to Brigida, and anyway, kind of turned into a bigger thing with this person going for diamond that didn't quite get there. But so she's like, you got to recruit more coaches. She's like, because I was really, one thing we did was my husband was out of work last fall, and that was another reason why I moved my lid up higher, because that's another story too. But so last fall at this time, we were completely out of work. And so we could move anywhere. So I moved back to Arizona to work with just a couple of my coaches that could help me get to elite last year. And so I was talking to Brigida, and she's like, you can't focus on certain people. You've got to keep recruiting yourself. And I think that was a big, big eye-opener for me too, is like, if you're just focusing on certain coaches, then they won't become better leaders. But if you're recruiting more coaches and they see you recruiting more coaches, then they will start recruiting more coaches too and going forward. So that was a big thing. Okay, step number 3 is connect coaches with other coaches. So this was a really good idea that, so one thing I heard was, once a coach gets to diamond, so we started getting diamonds. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to just help them create their own team group and their own team calls, and they're going to go for it. Well, once I just let the diamonds go, then most of them lost their rank. And so I was like, okay, that's not working out. Let's figure out a better solution. And so I started this group called the Break the Barriers group. And it's a group to help coaches get to 2-star diamond. And so it's really focused on 2-star. And this is how we've gotten some star diamond coaches on our team. And we don't have a ton, but we have 3-star diamond coaches, which is exciting for me. And what we've done is every week we talk about the barriers that they're facing. So we're breaking through the barriers, and we have a leader of the week. So this was Missy's idea, but she does a leader of the month. But we did a leader of the week. And so the leader of the week, we have a Google Doc, and we say, here's the responsibilities of the leader of the week. So the leader of the week does the team call, they post in the team group, they help if there's a webinar, they basically do everything that I would have done as the leader. And then we have a team leader of the week, and then a leadership leader of the week. So the leadership leader leads the calls for the leaders, and that's specifically focused on leadership, because that's another thing is I was focusing a lot on teaching the team, basic how to find coaches, how to find customers, but not leadership kind of things. And so we're focusing more on leadership topics in the leadership group. But I'm not running all of this stuff. The leader of the week for the team has a Google Doc with specific things they do, and then the other leader has specific things. So this was really cool because when I had my baby and I was in the hospital, there's not much I could do. I was in the hospital, I had a C-section, but everything just kept going. And I was like, awesome, it's still going, And so basically, we have certain things. So we run challenge groups, but they're with groups of coaches. So, the leader delegates out to the coaches. So there's 5 or so coaches running the challenge group together, and then they take a day to post, and but there's a leader leading the whole group, and then they delegate it out. And so we have all these things going on, but because that's the big thing is that once our team group got too big, people were kind of getting lost in the shuffle. And so I wanted to make sure that every single person, everyone matters, that everyone was getting the touch, and the training that they needed and not getting lost in the shuffle. So creating this leadership environment has really helped. And then we're not there yet, but once these coaches get to 2-star and above, I was really excited. They did a retreat. 2 of my 1-star coaches did a retreat this last weekend in Idaho, and I was like, they're doing retreats. And anyway, it's just exciting to see these leaders are developing and creating a culture in their team of the leadership. And it's really helped. We have a lot of busy moms on our team, and they felt overwhelmed with doing so much stuff, and delegating it out has helped develop the leaders. And another thing is when the leaders are teaching their coaches, then they are learning it better because they're teaching their coaches, and it's not just all coming from me. Anyway, this has made my life simpler and more balanced and helped a lot of coaches on our team, because I'm like, I don't want to work more than 15, 20 hours a week. That's just for me because I want to be home with my kids. And so I want to help other people be more balanced. All right, so I guess that's step number 4. I went into that already, is the leader of the week. And yeah, that whole what they do. So, and then step 5 is help them develop their own team page and their own team name. So this was another part, like being part of the leader of the week, is their coaches can be involved too. So it's not like just the leader of the week, it's like the team of the week. And so the team, rallies up their team, and like we're the group of the week, and helping run things together as a group. And then now it's kind of duplicating with some of my, like this one coach got to 1 star in 6 months. It was kind of exciting. But so she's doing the same thing with her team, and they're starting to do the leader of the week and like duplicating it out. So, okay, number 6. And step number 6 is, so to find the leaders that I want to move into the leader of the week, this is something that I've done that has really saved me a lot of time, is to test to see who takes action. So I'm someone that I like to help every single person, and, just want to make sure everyone is doing good. But I mean, you can only grow so much if you're making sure everyone's doing okay all the time. And so, what I do now with my training groups is, I start a new coach off. I do the Get Started Right call, and then I give them specific, our 3 goals to get started is to earn a paycheck, get to Success Club, and get to Emerald in your first 30 days. And I say, we're going for all 3 goals, but if we hit one of them, that's awesome, and we're going to work to see, to get there. And so that's pretty much it. And then I just give them some basic things to do. We're working towards inviting people to this challenge group. Here's the date. Just give them some basic guidelines. And if they take action, then I work with them closer. But if they don't take action, then I just treat them like a challenger and keep checking in on their health and fitness goals. But I don't really push the business unless they start getting results, or unless they really want it. I guess that's the biggest thing, because I always wanted it more than they did. And so now I'm just working with people that really want it. Okay, number 7 is recognition. And this was a good thing that Missy talked about. She talked about recognizing from bottom to the top, which I thought was really good. So she talked about, if you're just recognizing from the top, if you're just recognizing the people, like the diamonds, or your personally sponsored people, you won't keep them as a diamond, because all the other people are kind of getting lost in the shuffle. So recognize from bottom to the top, reaching out to their emeralds, and reaching out to some of their business builders that are wanting to go for it, and recognizing from the bottom to the top. So that's something we've started to incorporate in our team, which it's been good too. Okay, 3 more steps. Step number 8, then I did one-on calls with the leaders. So I'm very selective on who I am working with one-on-one. I've been doing a lot of group calls, which has been awesome and just saved me tons of time, because at one point I was doing 20 one-on-one calls, and some people were just shooting the breeze for an hour, and I'm like, I love you, but I can't do this every week. So I combine groups of coaches to do group calls, to do group mentorship calls, and then the people that I see kind of rising above that, then I will do one-on-one calls. And some people, I do one-on-one calls once a month. Sometimes I do once a week. It just depends on kind of where they're at. But once they start getting going, a lot of them just want it once a month, because then they're doing it with their group. And I mean, we've just really tried to focus our time and make it efficient, so that we're, if we want to stay at home with our kids, we're really staying at home with our kids. We're not just working like crazy. Step number 9 is just have a really clear action plan with dates. So like basically really having a path. Like I met with one of my newer coaches that's going for Diamond. She's doing awesome. We just both had a baby. We took a picture and posted it if you want to see. But anyway, she, you know, just making it very clear, like, okay, here's the goal and this is what we need to have happen, and then making it going backwards, reverse engineering it, and just making it very simple on here's the goal and here's the path and how we're going to make it happen. So a lot of times, like with, you know, in the past, I'd be like, yeah, you should get to Diamond. And it'd be kind of like, yeah, that'd be cool. And we didn't really, it was kind of wishy-washy. But if you have a really clear plan, and then another thing is if it doesn't happen, then you just set another date. So just keep making another date. And then the last goal, or the last step, is keep evaluating your time and what is working and what is not working. So something I like to do as well is every week I take one full day off. 1 or 2 days, like usually all the time on Saturday or Sunday, always on Sunday, but I evaluate my week. So I look at like what was working and what was not working, and what was moving my business forward and what was not moving my business forward. So like if I, you know, I'm working with someone that I think is going to be an awesome leader, and like they start off, you know, going great, but then they stop meeting goals, and they stop like, you know, meeting the mark, then I might, you know, say, you know, I'm just going to check in with you every other week instead of every week. Or, you know, like I will let them know I'm still there, but I'm evaluating like who I'm working with. And if, you know, if they're really going for it, obviously I'm going to keep being there. But I just want to really evaluate my time and see what's working and what's not working, and not just spending time to spend time. So those are my 10 things. Just to recap, number 1 is raise your own lid on success and really dive into personal development on leadership. Number 2, recruit more coaches yourself. Number 3, connect coaches with other coaches and create a leadership culture in a leadership group. Number 4, have a leader of the week, and like have a team leader of the week. Number 5, have your leaders open up their own team page and create their own team name. Number 6, test to see who takes action, and don't work with just everyone, work with the willing, basically. Number 7, recognize bottom to the top. Number 8, have one-on-one calls with specific leaders. Number 9, have a clear action plan with dates. And number 10, keep evaluating your time and what is working and what is not working.
Loved that. Woo!
Hope it was helpful.
Absolutely. What questions do you ladies have?
When you do your group calls that you're talking about, how do you decide what kind of groups you're putting together? Is it like emeralds that are new emeralds that are working towards diamond? How do you divvy it up? Just curious.
I've done it different ways, but because I don't usually do it by rank, because someone might surprise me and just come out of the blue and really go for it. So I base it off of like their goals and their effort level, because sometimes like if I have like an emerald and then someone that's not emerald but going for diamond, you know, then that kind of motivates that emerald that might be going slower. Mm-hmm. And so I base it off of effort level and what they're actually doing.
Cool. Thanks.
Sure.
Well, I'm just curious, Shannon, when you kind of shifted and you weren't going to, you know, babysit coaches anymore, like you said, the diamonds that fell off, did they come back or did you recruit new ones? You know, how did they take that when they weren't being taken care of so much?
Sure. Yeah. So one diamond, it depends on the person. Most of them came back. I did have a couple that just kind of wanted to pull, you know, off. You know, that's another thing too. Like when coaches were going for diamond and they just got so overwhelmed and burnt out that they would just slow off, and, you know, they didn't technically quit, but they're not really going for the business. So that made me evaluate, like, how are we getting to diamond? Are they still balanced getting to diamond? So I, you know, make sure to evaluate that. But, you know, I'm still there for them. I just, you know, if someone says like, I need my space, and no problem, I'm here as your friend, you know, kind of pull back a little bit. But, yeah, that's kind of what happened.
That's good.
On your
on your recognition from bottom to top. So I started doing more volume recognition as well as Success Club. What other things do you recognize? I'm always curious what other coaches recognize.
Sure. Well, we do a lot of recognition on people's transformation. So we're focusing on people's transformation stories, or like maybe someone that they've helped and get their transformation story, or like to help develop leaders. Like I'll recognize a coach who helped one of their coaches get to Emerald, or, you know, like leadership kind of things. Or we do coaches of the week too. So like we'll do a coach of the week and say, you know, maybe they didn't hit like anything specifically, but maybe there's someone that's just put in a lot of effort and doing awesome, and they just need to be recognized to get that extra boost, and then it just helps them go even more. So those are some things we've done.
Cool. Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks for saying about leader of the week and passing on some of that responsibility. I always need to hear that more. I take a lot on myself, so I appreciate you just reaffirming how important it is.
Sure, definitely. Well, and just to add on to that, like I had some other leaders tell me, I don't really want to be a Star Diamond because it just seems way too stressful and too busy. Like I don't want that. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to show, just kind of like with coaching in general, like I know I used to be checking my phone 24/7, and people are like, I don't want to be a coach. Like I don't want to do that. So thinking about like whatever I do, I want to make it appealing for anyone else, whether it's a leader, whether it's coaching, and, you know, want to make it like doable, like if people have busy schedules. So
love that.
I don't know if we covered this already, but when you're having that conversation with a coach to see, like you're trying to dig up the ones that want to do it, do you private message them, or how do you handle that? Or do you just post on your team page?
I do a lot of one-on-one conversations. So yeah, private message, and, you know, like I say, like, you know, I'm private messaging, like I'll run a training and I'll say like, I'll private message people and see if they're posting in the group. And if they are posting in the group or responding back to me, then I'll get them on the phone. But I do a lot like of the before the phone, like through messaging, just to see. You know, and I've been telling this is something actually I just started this last week, is in my team group, I'm focusing on the 3 vital behaviors. And I said, okay, guys, I'm going to tell you what I do every day. And then I want to see what you guys are doing every day. I don't want to bug you. So if you're posting your recap of your 3 vital behaviors, I'm going to really focus on mentoring those people who post in this group. And then I'll reach out to you. But if not, like, I don't want to bug you. So anyway, I've been kind of doing that lately, and I mean I want them to know I'm there for them, but I don't want to keep bugging them if they don't want me to bug them. So
yeah, that's always the balance we have to strike, you know.
Yeah.
Wanting it for them more than they want it.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I noticed when I did pull back, I had more people coming to me like, oh, well, actually I do. I want to work with you. I want to do this. And you know, when I was like bugging them all the time, then they're like, oh, she's just going to keep bugging me, you know. But when I pull back, they're like, wait, I want you to keep bugging me. So
that's awesome.
So what, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sharon. Sorry.
I was just curious. So what time frame again was this, like when you kind of implemented these steps, and how is that? Like, have you seen a big increase in like your recruiting and all that stuff as well?
Yeah, so I mean, it's been over time, but I'd say like 2014, last January 2014, that's when it really shifted for me, when I just really was like, okay, I'm going to go for this. Let's do this. And so I started recruiting a lot more last year and this year. And yeah, I started implementing a lot of these things just in this last year, almost 2 years. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my question. Hi. So I've got about 800. Someone in this group who's very wise and gave me some very good advice told me, I mean, and it took me, I think, every single day, we want it more than them, we want to help, and then we don't. But I've really been really good about just working with the willing. And I make it very clear to my team, I will match your energy. I even had them start doing their own coach sneak peeks, because they were relying so much on me. I had 2 coaches do it. They did it with 1 person in their downline. It went very well. But then Meg goes and does a call for Janelle like 3 weeks ago and talks about how she does it for her entire downline. Dang it. So I completely revamped. I'm doing one tonight. So we have one tonight. And here's the thing though. I did the content. I have a couple videos from coaches. I feel good about what I've provided, but it goes back. I'm providing it to them and they're not inviting people. Marsha, you got something for me? So it's like, I went back, I'm like, look, I'm going to help all of you because that's what I want to do. Because I know like some of my coaches are not helping their downline and they're flighty and it happens. So I'm like, okay, let me help them. But I had to message them Friday and say 5 coaches, 5 of you have invited to this. So I'm back to like, do I say, I want to help them. I want to be there and provide them the content. But then do you go back and saying you're on your own again? Wait.
Yeah, no. That's
a commercial.
Yeah. No, that's tough. And something I do is I tell people, okay, if you really want to grow like part or full-time income with this, I'm going to help you be a leader and do all of what I'm doing on your own for you and your team. But then whenever I do stuff, I open it up to everyone. So I always open it up to everyone. But then when I start to see someone like going, I'm like, well, let me help you do the same thing with your people. Because that's the other thing too, when I opened up this leadership group, I had a lot of response like, oh, I want to be in the leadership. I want to do it. And then I'm like, okay, you're going to have to talk on the team call. And they're like, oh, I don't want to do that. And oh, you're going to have to do, talk to people about coaching. Oh, I don't know about that. So then I'm like, well, maybe you're not ready for this. That's okay. Let's just go back to the basic training and keep working on that. And when you're ready, but just so you know, when you're going to be a leader, you're going to have to do some of these things. So a lot of people say they wanted it, but it's kind of, I like the little red hen analogy, but it's kind of like that everyone wants it, but then they find out what they have to do, then they're like, oh, I don't think I actually want to do that. And so, so that's okay. I'm like, that's okay. I will meet you where you're at, but I'm really focusing on the leaders because I want to help them earn a part of full-time income. I'm here for you still with the basic stuff, but just so you know when you're ready. And that kind of helped. And then I just focus on recruiting more and, then you find those people.
Hey, Kristen, I just did an event on Thursday. I hadn't done one in a long time. And I changed it up a bit, which I think is what you're kind of doing, a coaching event, right? And I've kind of been like you, like all over the board. So but I'm trying to give my leaders more responsibility and ownership in these kind of things. So it's not like the Marsha show, because my show is boring. So this was the most successful event I had. And I have a push for diamond group going on right now and my leader group. So in both of those calls, I challenged them to have at least 5 people in the event, 5 people. And so that meant that they had to invite. So I did an event. I made it so simple and it took no time. I did an event, right, is that what it's called? A Facebook event. And then I invited all of them and then I told them to invite. So how easy is that? So simple. And that was the event page we ran the event off of. And then instead of it being me posting, I had their videos. And then I had one other coach post with me. So every 10 minutes we were posting. I had one coach in charge of the raffle prizes, so I didn't have to worry about that. And then I had a few diamonds that were supposed to just be on, like always answering and always, being there. It turned out like the most engaged, so everybody had a bit of an ownership, but not like feeling like it was the weight of the world on them. And I just sat here. It was like so peaceful because it was all doled out. So I don't know, instead of it being like, it's got to all be me and I'm going to put it together. I just let that go. And I have to tell you, it takes a little bit because like one person, I asked her to do a video and it wasn't like what I would have, like, it wasn't really what I wanted, but I was like, okay, it's okay. It's good. Right. Like it's good. And so they had so much fun. It went way past the hour and they've asked if instead of doing 5-day sneak peeks, they're all like, can we just do these? Can we just do these? So I don't know, I'm just trying to give them more ownership. So I and challenging them.
I love that idea. I'd like to hear more about that. I've never heard of that idea. That's awesome.
It was a funnest hour ever.
I do 1 hour because I can't be bothered. Nobody will go watch the videos in the 5-day. Oh, did you watch the video today? No, I'll get to it later. And that never happens. So I've done what you've done. I do have a couple people that made videos for me, but I said I would take charge of posting. And it's almost too late now to find someone to say, hey, let's break it up. That is something good to note for next time. I'm glad it went well for you though. That's awesome.
I needed a surge of energy on my team. So it really, it was helpful, but splitting it up makes it so much calmer.
Well, I think the 1 hour is a rush. Like I'm at my computer, I'm like sweating with excitement.
Me too. Me too.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. You know, because it forces them to focus for 60 minutes. You know, and then, okay, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. I'm glad it went well. Congratulations.
Well, we'll see if the bigger thing is what happens it's the after. But conversations have started, and so that's a good thing. So, yeah.
Good.
I love this collaboration, this mastermind going on right here. Love it. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one question. I'm looking at my notes. When the birds leave the nest and fly on their own with their own team page and their own team name, and are they still very engaged in your team page?
Yeah, mine are.
You're personally sponsored, but how about your grand coaches and your?
Yeah, because they're still like the leader of the week, and so they're still posting in the team group. So like my big team group is like basically it's a joint. Everyone's posting. I'm not just the main one posting.
Right.
They're still a part of it, and we just switch off like who's posting that week, and then my personally sponsored. That's more like just a smaller,
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Shannon, you're awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming with 10 action items of just like, hey, this is how it is, because that's so much easier than to take into our business, right? Mm-hmm. When I'm helping coaches, same thing is just going back. I love the 10 points. If any of you are ever struggling with leadership, John Maxwell is by far, obviously you all know, the guru of leadership. And I talk to coaches every single day that say, you know what, Brittany, I've never been a leader before, and now I have to be. And we just dig right into personal development, because that's how it's a skill you can all learn, and you can teach your coaches, obviously, to become a leader, which is amazing. So, Shannon, you're a rock star, girl. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Shannon.
4-star Diamond. We welcomed you earlier, but you weren't here yet.
Sorry, thank you.
Woohoo!
Hey, you're good, lady. So great seeing you today, as always. I'll see all of you next week for sure. But Shannon, thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, have a good week.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.